Hi Capricorns, and welcome to your monthlies. And it might be actually June 21st to July 21st because we are doing this for the transition of Cancer. So we're going to do the tarot part first, then we're going to do Grand Tableau Lenormand, so yay, big spread, 32 cards, and then we are going to do Grand Tableau spread, 54 cards. So we are going to see different storylines, and you know, it's going to be in Gypsy spread for the couples as well. So I have shuffled the cards already, so you don't spend 5 minutes watching me shuffle and being irritated with the sound. But I can do that if you want. I can even record it, so you can actually just listen to that sound. Just kidding. So let's see what is in the store for the upcoming month. We have attraction. Then it is safe for you to love. Let me just see if I can pull this up a little bit. Pay attention to the red flags. Getting to know each other. Free yourself. Whoa. Heart-to-heart conversations. Release your ex. Passion. Healing family issues. Let go of control issues. The bottom of the deck, religious factors, aka marriage card, commitment card. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. So this card is kind of like really deeper than it appears to be. Of course, on the surface it could be that, you know, somebody feels commitment because this is how you have been raised, this is what you're doing every Sunday, you're going to church, I must do this, I must do that, I must do that, right? Then you turn out to be 70, well, same thing, 17 and 70 years old. You kind of have life behind you and you go, oh, I wish I lived my life dangerously. At least this is what my much older friends say to me, that they have been good all their lives, and regrets were that they wanted to be mischievous. So keep this in mind. But anyhow, this is a theme. It's a dedication to something. It is a goal. So what is on the bottom of this deck? Whoa, we have One of Swords. So who is not being honest, Capricorn? Is it you, to yourself? There is coming back to something. And then we have the Empress. Sorry, that's not the Empress. This is the Strength. So this is coming back. Like, this is kind of interesting card, because when I draw this card in the upright position and say, well, somebody's leaving, and then my clients kind of go freak out. So, but look, what happens when you leave the house? Is it like goodbye, arrivederci for good, or you come back? Well, most likely you do come back, but you're checking out to see what is out there. So this card is really talking about figuring out, and this way that is coming out for you means, okay, so I've seen what is out there, I'm coming back, and even though I know what is here, I don't want to go there. So this is kind of interesting. So there are two eights, which is also talking about, they're kind of related cards, and the Strength card is a rich relative of this one. So it is actually saying it is an inner strength, it's an emotional strength, gathering emotional strength, or gathering ability to come back and address certain issues that are of emotional nature, and doing that softly. Kind of maybe for a while you were upset with something, but you couldn't really express it. However, there are still some kind of deceptions and possible self-deceptions, or possibly like this is the conversation you need to kind of like have, because Ace of Swords reversed is definitely talking about the digging, and it's either somebody's lying to you, or they're not telling you the truth, or you're lying yourself. So you have to figure out which one of these it is this month. So let's kind of like go through this whole thing. Oh my gosh, Capricorn, because I've seen in this card it was like going forward, going backward. Oh my god. Yeah, this is one of those things that I'm wondering You know, if I do even should read this. I really have to think if I want to read this. Okay, let me think. Okay, I have asked Safi. Right, Safi? We're going to read this, right? It's actually not right. I know that some tarot readers do that, kind of like they see cards that coming out that are kind of not favorable, and they just reshuffle them and give some kind of side story. The truth is, like, when you really focus, the very first thing that comes out is the story. And of course you can examine the story further, and this is again a general reading, so just the tidbits may apply to you. So for the personal reading, it's the best to contact me directly. But going back to that subject of rereading, this is also sometimes, and I refuse to do that, reading things, people over and over and over for the same issue. I do know that karma changes, and karma changes in really frequent intervals, and it depends not only on us but on the other people who actually affect us. But we still kind of see, like, I think the time is more or less a curve, and in that small segment in that curve it's kind of linear, so straight, okay? And so hence I can see it, but other than that, kind of like, you cannot really tell what is around the curve because changes happen. So this is the curve that I'm seeing here. So you have 4, 5 cards that are kind of not happy cards, and out of 10, let's see what's going on here, guys. This is like something from the past, getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. And then you have this 4 of Cups, and 4 of Cups talks about, you know, interesting card, because cups represent love, represent emotions. So if this person, or kitty, whatever you want to call it, mini furry person, is offered this, so let's say person A, oh I love you, or person B, oh I love you so much, oh I cherish you, and they reject all of that, does this mean that they are picky, or does it mean that these 3 choices were not appropriate? And then something appears like out of nowhere, like a little turtle coming with a special offer, and no, the special offer is not good enough either. So in the upright position, it's possibly a card of luxury. In Crowley deck they are calling this luxury. So when is this reversed, luxury is not there, right? So getting to know each other looks like it has been stripped down to really learning bare bones about someone, learning who they really are, learning the secrets, trying to unwrap the secrets, or becoming cognizant of those secrets, becoming aware that something doesn't really fit, and trying to figure out what it is, and maybe even trying to create magic in the situation. The Magician is conception stage, where, you know, in the morning you lie down on your bed and you go, today I'm going to get up, I'm going to shower, then I'm going to brush my teeth, then I'm going to exercise, then I'm going to have a really nutritious breakfast, then I'm going to go to work, and I'm going to be extremely pleasant and people will be very receptive to me, and then I'm going to come home and I'm going to exercise another half an hour, I'm going to, you know, spend some time, like, I'm in with my hobbies, and I'm going to go to bed early. So that's Magician. But is this what happens? Or you end up half an hour later lying down on your sofa with muffin in your mouth, right? So what I'm trying to say here in such a lengthy way, like, the thinking is not necessarily doing, and this is that inception phase. But it is good in this particular case because there are some secrets, and that was something kind of that you try to dig out, either in you because you had that Ace of Swords, or in someone else. Certain things kind of like still didn't come to the surface. Those could be with your family unit. Actually, let's start with this one, because this is in the root. Like, I mean, kind of like you're in the space where maybe because of these secrets now you are very highly alert, right? It's like somebody lies to you and you go, okay, fine, why is he or she doing that? And you just kind of say nothing, pretending I just didn't notice, right? And they keep on going, and you're trying to kind of see how far it will go. And you're seeing like red flag, bigger red flag, bigger red flag. The problem is the signs are cautioning you. You're seeing those red flags, but sometimes we don't react, and sometimes we try to justify them, especially women. Women are going extra mile to try to justify someone. And this combination, guys, is highly saying that you probably have been going through that you've been thinking, well, you know, he said he's awful, but I don't think so. He's such a sweet guy. Guys, trust them. When they tell you they're awful, they are awful. So it is really fine-tuning to what you need to listen, and then pay attention to the red flags, because if you don't, this is what happens. All of a sudden you're going down. All of a sudden they go, oh look, they are believing me, and I'm going to put more of that, and more and more and more. Next thing you know, you're the one who is being presented as crazy. So with this card being backstab, is basically true meaning of this card is, yeah, something happened to you from the person that you should have known better not to mess with. You have to kind of realize that your instincts are right. We are, whether you want to agree with me or not, we are still animals. And even though we are just maybe 4 or 5 animals that can see ourselves in the mirror, I don't know if that gives us any special kind of like things. But here, can you see the others? This is not even asking you to see yourselves. This is asking you to recognize when you don't feel something is right. And yeah, it was related something to relationships. Something could be that, yeah, look at this, 3 of Wands and 4 of Wands. Somebody was maybe promising you goals, or maybe there were goals with someone. Something is relating to your relationship or to marriage. Something died, right? 4 of Wands is going to the next stage. 3 of Wands are goals, but this is reversed now. So this is death of marriage and of vision in that direction. So it has been a situation that has been brewing for quite a while. 10 is the final stage, and in this case, backstab or literally dead, or, you know, you don't want to know about that. And it is the end of the road. And it could have been, again, you have another 10 and another 10 reversed. So this 10 here talks about the ancestry, talks about our family, talks about, well, seeing yourself with this person, right? Attraction is the bottom line card. You attract romantic life by enjoying this moment fully. So family is in a way to attraction. There is some kind of arguing going on, and then it's again the marriage card. So marriage and marriage, down and up. And you're Capricorn, you guys like to do everything in a proper way. Or when you go nuts, you absolutely go nuts, you know, like you're these horn dogs. So this can tell me that it could be arguing within your family. This is talking to me about arguing a lot and really not accomplishing anything. And so it has been some disturbance in the family unit. And then this is kind of like coming back, which could be with the same partner. It doesn't have to be with the same partner, because this bickering has to be kind of like resolved in order for sun to shine again. And how is it going to be resolved? Voila, here is the Tower. It is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. And then you have the Tower. So the Sun, and then the Tower. Tower means that if you do not kind of figure things out yourself, the karma is going to do that for you. This is like, you don't fix that kind of leaking tire. So karma says, oh, let me show you, you'll have an accident and it's going to make you fix it, and it's going to be much costlier than looking into it itself. But you know what, when you fix it, it's going to be done really properly. So this is the card of surprises, and safe to you to love. It could be also that because of all these issues you haven't been ready, because obviously you're dealing with some kind of like really big heartbreak. But this is actually saying that there is something else on the horizon. And also, when Tower shows up, things happen really fast. Gravity is really fast, 9.81 kilometers per hour, and you're flying down, right? Or is it kilometers or meters per second? Okay, I'm lost. I forgot my physics. So anyway, and it's a free fall in this case, and be very careful because there is also thunder going on here. This is also talking about, it's going to be a huge paradigm shift. For those of you who don't know what paradigm means, kind of like you're going to shift your values. You're going to see things kind of like from a side, and you're going to see what kind of didn't work and why. Hi, Seth. Do you like Capricorns? Huh? Do you? Just keep the table. Yeah, she has to, of course, she has to show her complimentary butt showing, right? Can you come here? Can you come here? Thank you. So let's talk a little bit more about this tower here as well, because paradigm shift is kind of realizing, and remember here you had tradition. There was a tradition here. And there is some kind of tradition here because it's connected to something finishing, something that kind of looked, that was looking good, but it kind of like all of that has been cut off. So whatever it is basically here, like, I mean, whatever ended, something new is starting, guys. It's going to be much better. It could be just an epiphany that you kind of wake up in the middle of the night and you get it on, like, you know, did you see this Clueless movie where at the end of the movie she goes, oh my gosh, I love Josh. So this is kind of the thing, like, it just like literally, this is how you find out you're in love, or this is how you find out, oh my gosh, this is what it was. And it's not that you're stupid. It is like sometimes life gets in a way, and this is why it's very hard for us to kind of do these transformations, because we have to do everything we have to do every day. So this card is talking about these unexpected events, and it's going to bring those opportunities for transformation. So keep your eyes open. So see the Judgment card, like, oh my gosh, Capricorns. Again, you have the 3. Again, like, they're like sisters, bad sisters. Like, these are like Cinderella sisters. So, Judgment reversed. Certain things are happening in 3s. This is what the card literally means, and then you get a 3. And then you had the bickering, which was instability. Karma card, guys. So what's going to happen here, that epiphany, it's going to be karmic, and there are 3 people involved here somehow. 3 of Cups, guys. So this is what is crowning you for yourself. So I guess I see that it was this pressure from the family unit. Something has collapsed and you want to rebuild it. There is like this sunshine. This is like extremely positive card, and the tower is rebuilding, albeit not in a greatest kind of like possible way. But here, for yourself, it's time to take back control of your life. Maybe some of you feel that you're missing an ingredient, right? There is like either wrong place or wrong time or wrong person, and you keep kind of chasing that little laser dot on the wall, and it keeps kind of eluding you. So this is saying, listen, you kind of have to find a space for yourself. It is time to take back control of your life. Whatever has been happening, whatever is bickering, you can stop. Create the balance. This is calling for the balance. And how do you do it? Four of Swords talks about recuperation, talks about kind of go inside and think through it, because you have been in this space. 10 of Swords and 3 of Swords. It is like these two cards are tormenting yourself, but this is kind of like letting all this like newfound epiphanies and knowledge sink in, kind of figuring out consciously how to create this balance. To some people, balance just comes naturally and they kind of like integrate to their lives. You are literally going to think this month what to do and how to go about this. There will be certain things that being cut off, or abusive people will be cut off, and I think this is what you need to free yourself from, possibly even self-abuse. Like King of Swords, when King of Swords is reversed, we are talking about something really smart and really manipulative. This is James Bond villain here that you're like looking when you're looking in the card that is like reversed. And it's, of course, even though they're represented in the movies like always having some kind of disability, this disability can be inside. It could be your own disability, it could be your own inability to do something, and now you are trying to figure out what is it, because that is creating this imbalance, and this is asking of you to free yourself from it. So you know what, guys, this is the Tower. This is the power of Tower. So it's going to be interesting summer for you, for those of you in Northern Hemisphere, because if you didn't do it on the 1st, if you do it on the 2nd, if you didn't do it on the 3rd and 4th, there is the 5th one coming. So you guys are not given a break this month at all. Heart-to-heart conversations, honestly discuss your feelings with each other, and then you have the Death card. So that was here, that was here. Capricorns, please tell me that was not a real death here, because it may have been. It may have been that somebody is dealing with that situation, but this generally card talks about metaphorical death, talks about change, right? Talks about that nothing really remains the same, and that we need to kind of accept that life evolves through kind of like different cycles. So we're talking about birth, death, rebirth. And when this card comes here, it is time for transformation. It is time for transition, and things are actually changing form from one thing to another. You're actually going to a different level, and this level is going to be built really properly for you. So you need to allow this to happen, because it actually is for the highest good. So this card definitely says you have to let go of the old and welcome the new. And I don't know, here I had a suspicion that there may be somebody else. Maybe there was, oops, pardon me, there was somebody in the past that is figuratively or literally or dead, and you didn't want to move on. You were kind of like torturing yourself in your head, and maybe this time for there was somebody else kind of like on the horizon, but you didn't want to allow yourself. Kind of like this is the theme of your reading, and there you go, death. This kind of means transform, and this means coming back to it. So this can mean coming back to something that previously worked well. This means coming back to, again, cleaning the things around, cleaning the plate. This is 6 of Swords, and then I have 8 of Swords reversed as well, which is good in the reverse situation. When I have this upright, it talks about, look, I'm stuck in these branches, I'm going to get scratched, I don't know how to go, oh my gosh, I kind of like experience this like severe fear, like you're getting paralyzed. This way, you know, the tree crown is on the bottom, it's basically root at this case, so just like you're realizing it's really not that bad. At least you have your backing. So it is sort of like, again, thoughts. You'll be spending lots of thinking. I don't know which card you have. Like you have 10, you have King, you have 4, 6, 8, 3, 7. Swords are not your element. You're like earth element, and swords are air element. But air element is asking you to raise above the earth, right? So you're not going deep into emotional discussion, you're going up in the understanding of the matter. So it looks like emotionally it's going to be a big bang in the beginning of the month and maybe throughout the June, and then emotionally and then intellectually this has to sit in as well. That's why they say you have to kind of like choose between heart and your head, but that's actually generally not the case. Generally is like you have to figure out how to marry the two. So you guys are still dealing with release your ex and this sorted place, right? The time has come to clear our energy. There we go. We basically have this calling again. So see, this card is basically not the greatest like thing to see, but it's actually talking about silver linings. It talks about, you know, that there is a third party, and the third party kind of like does help you to see the truth of the situation. So if the third party messed up with your relationship, then your relationship was not meant to be. As harsh as this may sound, just imagine that you cannot play poker with sweaty palms, because eventually, you know, people will notice that you're nervous. So whatever is yours cannot be withheld from you, right? It is basically in your best interest to let go. It's literally what the cards say. And it's basically also the best to see the truth and kind of like look things in the eye. So you see, this is kind of like not willing to look into that, and then really feeling that you have to, and maybe sometimes you don't want to do it because it's really painful. When this card shows up in the explanation, is actually saying, look, verbalize this, and even better, write it, because she's holding this piece of the paper which says like, write this down and burn it, set it off to the universe, clean it off your basically plate. Oh wow, it has been somebody who has been really meaningful to you. You have Knight of Chalices, and then you have Five of Cups reversed again. So it is like a cleansing here. It is going between heights of the love to depths of the love. So I was just saying, this is emotional, this is intellectual, however this is emotional. So you actually really you have to release it on both levels, in both head and in heart. And you know, you can still keep the good parts. Like, we actually never, well, do we actually ever stop loving a person? Because love is transformational energy. It probably takes a different shape. That's all there is if it has an energy. So even if the person moves on, they will actually still always be with you, because that energy has actually intercepted. So what is in your environment? Passion. So it is safe for you to love, and now you have passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. But you feel like wounded warrior, and this is kind of like you're going through this tower and like you just landed, and you're going, oh my gosh, where do I go from here? Where is the nearest hospital? And the Knight of Pentacles, okay, Capricorn, this is that kind of like finally your cards are showing up. People are telling you, you have to move on, you have to keep moving, and this is a test, but you are like not really ready to move. You kind of like are still, there we go, another sword. You're still kind of trying to figure out how to communicate. Communication is the key for you this month, guys. Page of Swords, or Knave of Swords as it's called in this deck, is the card that talks about trying to figure out the things. And the swords are always about the truth, either talking and speaking about it, manipulating, or not facing it. So this can also mean, this is also the card of being too nosy. So because this is in the environment, you might be too nosy about someone, or somebody might be too nosy about you. Or this also can mean simply that is that heart-to-heart conversations, but it's going to be more head-to-head conversations when Page of Swords shows up, because it's like, oh, I want this, blah, 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 and literally there is no filter, you kind of blur it out. And that's because you just simply have been damaged. So hopes and fears, healing family issues, and yeah, voila. Like being backstabbed, something dying, your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. But it doesn't necessarily always talk about your parents. And it could be that your parents had some kind of dealings in your situation, and currently this is a card of being sneaky, because look at the mice are partying here while the kitty is sleeping. So if your family or somebody really close to you who you consider family kind of tried to manipulate, because you after all had this like you kind of tried to free yourself, and looks like somebody wanted to have this hold on you, and that's why you had this King of Swords reverse, some kind of manipulation. Here again, see this like kind of sneaky feeling, almost like they're the ones who are adhering you to certain structure, and you're trying to break free from that structure. And there is the time for this conversation. There is a time. Look, you're going to succeed. The star is the healing card. The star is going up. The star is also communication. Now, like you have a communication, and this also means actually regaining your independence. So that's free yourself all over again. And so what's happening, guys? Let go of control issues, allow the situation to unfold naturally. And then you have Queen of Chalices, which is romance, which is it's safe for you to love. It's somebody who is a good listener, somebody who cares for you, like something is feeling like a victory. The Chariot coming in is accomplishing impossible, but this is accomplishing impossible after having fallen so many times. It's very unlike Six of Wands, where there is just a victory. This is kind of like path that hasn't been easy, path that has been going through different things, where you actually have to put lots of elements together. Wow, you guys, oh my gosh, look at this. You guys are falling in love this month. So get rid of this weird energies. So next stage is Lenormand. So let's see if this continues, if you're going to clarify more. I'm going to clean the table, put the cards on the table, and reconnect. Hi Capricorns, here we go. So in Lenormand, like I mean, when you put all the cards on the table, it's called basically Grand Tableau. I'm going to do Grand Tableau with my Gypsy cards as well. So here basically gives me the entire positioning, and so it's the lady and then we have the gentleman, and both of them are significators, and either of them can be you. You don't have to be respectful to the gender that it actually shows. So basically, see, some of you, I was looking for these big transformational cards that are there, and there's definitely a mountain here. There is something that some of you want to unlock and getting healthy. So other of you have some kind of loyalty to those issues that we see in those secrets. So there is something coming from the past. When I see the Lilies cards, and like this is really telling me some kind of past event which kind of has been a fog. And this past event, look at this, like it's related to some kind of commitment or some kind of lovebirds. And for some of you, it could be the old love is now becoming the key for something. For some of you, you're like business oriented. You kind of like are thinking about how to do something new connected to health. This can also be the fish, of course. Where is my ship? It's here. So okay, it's close. It could be business that is import export, whatever you serve fish kind of a thing. So restaurants, or so it can also talk about the big swirl. So actually when these cards have been created, the fish represented fishermen, and they have been kind of upper middle class. So it is a really good thing. It's a card of upward mobility. But then we have the coffin, and then we have the cross. So is the business being affected because something has to die? Because like we have like these 3 cards. We have like the sinister 7 cards here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All of them are sort of like circulating on a periphery over here again. But then again, the moment when they're resolved and something is being cut off, right, things are getting kind of like reborn. There's this healthy new beginning. So as far as the business, it could be a new way of marketing. It could be coming. So the cross can also mean the end of something, the end of something, I don't know, maybe end of something governmental, because the coffin is also doing this. So, and it could be related to your financial things. Kind of very strange. Something is going to be cut off here in about a few months. 3 to 4 months. And for either of you, look at this, like both of them are on the same trajectory, absolutely the same. So there are like actually not even extra storylines. And here's again the secret, something that has been buried, something has been kind of like put to rest. And on one hand, like you think there is like this big mountain to overcome. On the other hand, you also know that something that kind of is very difficult also could be the key to your happiness. And that key to the happiness could be connected to the stork, which is kind of job, promotion, also children. And this is like now double children card here. So Capricorns, I would love to know what this is, because this is kind of like really intense. And definitely tells me it's something from the past, maybe possibly past love, maybe resurfacing, or all of that kind of messes that have been happening have to happen with something connected to your business, to your past. So we are going to do the gypsy spread next, and we are at our gypsy spreads. Bottom of the deck, which are the 2 cards I don't read, are melancholy and sights. So one thing is going out of the window, there's like still looking back, but this is definitely improvement of some kind. So let's see what we see here. Look, here is like really interesting. Again, I see a whole bunch of things. So let me actually tell you, for those of you who are not familiar, here we have the sweetheart all the way here in the right upper corner, which is one significator mostly for the females. And guys, you're not feeling really great, feeling upside down. Then there's the Lord, the married guy, or you know, somebody professional. Somebody is married, the wife is right here. But then we have the priest and the widower here in the conversation. So the theme is happening in depression. This is a doctor and despair. This is definitely depression. And then the enemy, and we see the bickering, and then we have depression here. So somebody is dealing also with the financial issues as well. So there's the conversation about possible relocation here as well, going back and forth. And this is kind of connecting to somebody. For this guy, it's connecting, so this is not significant in his case. That could be somebody else that he finds unachievable. Kind of, he feels that the deal cannot be sealed. And he's dealing with also some kind of death again. So there is a 3-party. There was some kind of happiness, stolen happiness. It was some kind of enemy, or something has happened. And again, scholar, we have scholar here, and we have thoughts here, both of them just like being deep inside, not being active. So I'm not so sure what died, because obviously death and a priest and a widower and next to wife, there is a situation that is involving some ending. So this goes both for the couples. It could be trouble in the paradise. It could be therapy. It could be dealing with some kind of loss. You could have the third party interfering here, but at the same time, it is kind of like really weird, because right, there is like this kind of joy that has been squeezed out, and they're like these, there is a presence of somebody else continuously that is kind of like making it's a financial difficulty for the couples. There is like something financial being negotiated, is going up and down. And for those of you married women, it could be that you are actually meeting somebody new, as we saw over there. Also, this could be that there are women with children who are meeting somebody who is a widower. And you may be meeting this person basically almost in your house. So all the players are clustered over here, so just like over there. So guys, it's going to be an interesting month. I'm going to pull one more card as an advice for you Capricorns. I'm sorry for the reading to be this long, but I usually go until I hear the whole story. So this one wants to jump out. Well, you have volcano, volatility. So that was like that fighting that we saw over there. Let's see what volcano can represent, I'm thinking. And certainly it's the earth. It's like changing the status quo, right? It's kind of like when you have this hot lava, and this hot lava, well, doesn't have to end up in the ocean, like, I mean, if it's on Hawaii, for sure, right? But it's spewing this fire means like you had to let your steam out. You probably have this fire inside of you, and this has been buried, and it kind of like culminated to the point that actually it just has to erupt. And this eruption, just like what you had a tower, it's unpredictable, right? And that's why you have to have cat or cat tarot to predict it for you, right? I know this is kind of silly, but this is basically talking that this is a volatile time for you, and it's going to be unexpected changes. This is your tower card, guys, right? And they can be sometimes sudden and dramatic. So they will be kind of occurring in a way that you don't have control over them. And these occurrences can be really powerful, like a volcano that can kind of shake up everything that you have formerly kind of created in your life. You kind of had your life A, B, C, D, E, and then you end up on the sofa with a muffin, right? So this is definitely, it's a huge month for you guys. You're going to really, you're like unpeeling yourself to get to much better you, Capricorn 2.0 or 20.0 basically on this way. So you're going to reassess even the direction your life is taking and question your relationships and reevaluate everything, like releasing your exes, releasing all this debris that is not really applicable anymore. And even though this kind of is literally going to rock your world, you have to trust that this is in your best interest. And also it is asking you to be flexible and agile, to be able to kind of make those adjustments really quickly and not to cling to what it was. And maybe this is kind of like really nicely gluing this whole reading. Instead, guys, move forward and welcome whatever is happening with your arms open, wide open, because whatever is to come is going to be really, really good for you. You have nothing to fear. So Capricorns, please let me know what's going on, and please subscribe, like, share. For the private reading, contact me at www.cattarot.ca. Love to hear from you. Have a great month. It's going to be stressful, and you guys are going to become the ruler of the world by the end of it. Love you. Talk to you soon.